We've all been there. Standing in the jet bridge, ticket clutched in hand, watching the minutes tick by. The anticipation builds as you inch closer to the airplane door, hoping that the process will be smooth and quick. Boarding an airplane often feels like a chaotic scramble, a test of patience with an elusive prize, a smooth and swift journey to your seat. The scene is all too familiar, passengers jostling for position, overhead bins filling up rapidly, and the inevitable bottlenecks that seem to slow everything down. But what if this familiar scene, this bottleneck of travelers, could be optimized? Imagine a world where boarding an airplane was as seamless as walking through your front door. What if there was a faster, more efficient way to board an airplane? A method that could save time, reduce stress, and make the entire experience more pleasant for everyone involved. The question seems simple enough: get everyone on board quickly and safely. But the reality is far more complex. Safety protocols, passenger behavior, and logistical constraints all play a role in how boarding is managed. Yet, airlines and airports have struggled for decades to find the optimal boarding strategy. Various methods have been tried, from back-to-front boarding to the more recent WILMA, window, middle, aisle, approach. The problem, as it turns out, is surprisingly complex. Each method has its pros and cons, and what works for one airline or aircraft type might not work for another. It's a puzzle of human behavior, spatial logistics, and the delicate balance between efficiency and passenger experience. People move at different speeds, have varying levels of familiarity with the boarding process, and often carry different amounts of luggage. The stakes are high. Every minute an aircraft spends on the ground is a minute lost for the airline. This not only affects the airline's schedule but also its profitability. Delays cascade, impacting schedules and ultimately the bottom line. A delay in boarding can lead to missed takeoff slots, which can then ripple through the entire day's schedule. Finding a faster boarding method translates directly to cost savings and increased revenue. Airlines can operate more flights per day, reduce fuel costs, and improve overall customer satisfaction. But achieving this elusive goal requires understanding the flaws in our current systems and exploring the often counterintuitive solutions that could revolutionize the way we fly. It's a challenge that involves not just logistics but also psychology, technology, and a willingness to rethink long-standing practices. The back-to-front boarding method seems intuitive. It appears to be a straightforward and logical approach to getting passengers onto the plane efficiently. Start with the rear rows, allowing passengers to settle in progressively towards the front. This way, it seems like you would avoid congestion and ensure a smooth flow of people. This logic, however, breaks down quickly in practice. The reality of boarding a plane is far more chaotic and unpredictable than this neat and tidy plan suggests. Passengers clog the aisle, retrieving bags and jostling for overhead space. The process becomes a slow crawl as people struggle to find room for their carry-ons. This creates a domino effect of delays. One person stopping to stow their luggage can hold up an entire line of passengers behind them. Imagine a line of people trying to squeeze through a narrow doorway, each needing to put on their shoes. The process is slow and cumbersome, with each person dependent on the one in front of them. The person at the back can't move until the person in front of them has their shoes on. This analogy perfectly captures the inefficiency of the back-to-front boarding method. This is the essence of the back-to-front bottleneck. The method inadvertently creates a series of small delays that add up to a significant slowdown. While well-intentioned, this approach overlooks a crucial element: human behavior. People don't always act in predictable ways, and their actions can disrupt even the best-laid plans. Passengers in window seats often find themselves blocked by those in aisle and middle seats, who need to organize belongings and settle in. This further complicates the boarding process. This constant shuffling and maneuvering creates a ripple effect of delays, negating any perceived efficiency gains. The more people have to move around, the longer the process takes. The back-to-front method, while seemingly logical, fails to account for the complexities of boarding an aircraft. It doesn't consider the real-world behaviors and needs of passengers. It's a classic example of common sense falling short in the face of a multifaceted problem. What seems like a simple solution on paper can become a logistical nightmare in practice. This begs the question, if not back-to-front, then what? Are there more effective methods that can better handle the complexities of human behavior and the physical constraints of an airplane?